Thank you for tuning in to Chamber Highlights with the Brunswick County Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Megan Bishop. Happy New Year and welcome to 2016. Today we are going to look at some of my favorite shows from the previous years. I'd like to welcome our first guest here on the show today, James Lane. We are at Angelo's Restaurant. Thank you so much for being a part of our show.
Welcome, James.
Glad to be here.
We are so excited about being at this restaurant. Tell us a little bit about the history of the restaurant. When did you open?
We opened 2003, the fall of 2003. It's been about 11 years ago.
Had you been in this business prior to being here, James?
I have. I worked at an Italian restaurant at Broadway at the beach, Myrtle Beach, really seasonal, busy place. So it was nice to come to a smaller town where we could really get to know the guests.
Well, that's great.
And where is this restaurant located?
This is 110 Shallotte Crossing, right across from Belk or Home Depot, right in the middle of Shallotte.
Right. And you said you were talking about your old restaurant was seasonal. We're open year-round here, correct?
Year-round, 7 days a week, lunch and dinner, year-round. We close Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving. But other than those holidays,
you're here.
We're open.
Did you take reservations?
For large parties, 8 or more, yes, we recommend reservations.
Okay, and we talked a little bit about earlier, you do a lot for the community and the locals around here. Tell us a little bit about the charities and stuff like that you do.
Well, one thing great about being in Shallotte and small towns, you get to know folks.
Right.
You meet them, you introduce yourself, and you have a relationship with them. So, First Tea's one of the ones we really feel led to get behind and promote. Literacy Council's another. We do fundraisers for Hope Harbor, just a few, and any local charity, preferably local, is who we really want to support.
And now these events that you have, I know you were telling us before we got started that First Tea's in here about once a month doing some type of fundraiser. If folks want to find out about these events and come support these charities and also have a great meal here at Angelo's, they can find that information on your website, correct?
Some of the information is on the website. The best thing to do is call the restaurant, get on our email list, so they'll be up to date on everything.
That's good.
What's the next event that you're doing?
We're doing November 10th. We're doing a fundraiser for First Tee. There'll be a 5-course wine dinner. It'll start with a white and finish with a red and a sweet. And then in January, we'll do Literacy Council, and that'll be a great event.
Great, great. Another thing I want to ask you about, James, is we're standing here in front of your wine selection. I understand you guys have a great selection of wines here, and of course, being that you're an Italian restaurant, wine is a very important part of the meal when you're eating Italian food. Could you tell us a little bit about your wine selection?
Sure. In Italy, wine is food, I believe.
Yes.
They don't look at it as something that's away from the meal. It's always enjoyed with the meal. And last year, a year and a half ago, we dedicated a lot of time to our wine list and really expanded our wine. Wine Spectator gave us an award.
That's awesome.
So we've been honored nationally by Wine Spectator for a great Italian wine list.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about your menu selections. What type of food you have, what's your favorite, what most people come into this restaurant for?
Well, we have everything's fresh, homemade pastas is a big draw right now. Everybody loves the fresh, homemade pastas. It's the fall season. Everybody wants a big plate of pasta.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good
that's
comfort food.
Good comfort food. And that's really what we do best is Italian comfort food, from a braised short rib to a bowl of spaghetti with meat sauce to just a lasagna, which is, who doesn't want
good lasagna?
A good lasagna.
Going back to the braised short rib, James, there was actually an event here that you took part in through South Brunswick Islands Rotary, which was called Children Grilled, and this was their second annual event held out at Brunswick Community College, and it's my understanding that this actually won the People's Choice Award for that event this year. So there's another award and accolade that you've got to hang on the wall.
Yeah, it was great. We didn't go expecting to win or trying to win. We just went. They asked us to come out. We went because it's a local charity, and they called our name, and we love our food. We know it's good, but that's not why we went. So to win was excellent.
An added.
It was really nice. Really.
Right.
What's your favorite food item on the menu?
I'd say my favorite, it really changes a lot, I think, with the weather, with the seasons. Yeah, summertime you want a white wine and something light, and in the fall you want something heavy. But just a pizza, margarita pizza, day in and day out. Fresh tomatoes, fresh basil, fresh mozzarella is
hard to beat good pizza.
That's very good.
So we're looking here. My juices are flowing. My mouth's starting to water. We've got some. This is an appetizer. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
It's a seared scallop. We've seared it and put it over a homemade pesto, fresh pesto, basil, garlic, salt, pepper. It's just all fresh, made right in-house ingredients.
Sounds awesome.
I'm about ready to try something. What about you guys? James, I'll let you do the honors since it's your food.
Okay, all right.
Serving us what you want us to have.
Just dig in.
Okay.
I say dig in, eat. Grab one.
Can't wait. I love good scallops. Now,
Very good.
we should eat. This is with the white wine?
The white,
The
this is
sparkling?
the sparkling Prosecco. That's from the northern Italy. Cheers.
That's very good.
It really cuts
Very
through the
refreshing.
pesto.
Yes.
Refreshing. Good drink at the beginning of the night.
Right.
You don't have to think about it. It's just a nice, refreshing drink. You can talk,
Got
walk
that
around, and
sparkle to it.
yes, right.
That fizz. I like that. I like
And tell
that.
us about our second item.
What we have here is a braised short rib.
Okay.
It's seared on the outside, cooked for 4 to 5 hours, so it's falling off the bone. It's a Piedmont dish, northern Italy, but it's really a super fall, winter dish. Paired with a big red wine from Tuscany, you can't miss.
And this is a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Cabernet Sauvignon from Tuscany.
That
And Tuscany, Italy's not known for Cabernet, but they make some great, super tasty Cabernets.
What do you
Ready
say
to
we
taste
dig
it?
in? Yeah. I won't be shy.
Go ahead.
I may make a mess here.
Okay.
And that is over a bed of mashed potatoes, creamed potatoes.
Garlic mashed potatoes.
Great flavor. It's not dry. Great.
I actually had this while we were at Children Grilled, and it is an awesome dish.
Well, James, both those items are wonderful.
Delicious.
I know. I enjoyed the wine. Thank you so much for being a part of our show. If someone is interested in making reservations or has a question, anything about the restaurant, how will they contact you?
The best way I always say is call us personally, contact us, call the restaurant, email us at angelos@atmc.net. Call us 910-754-2334 is the contact for the restaurant. And we're always here. We'll, ask to speak to me or one of the managers, and we'll give you any information, reservations you need, or questions you may have about an event.
I think I'll be calling tonight, setting up my next reservation after this little whetting my appetite here.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
We'll be right back.
We'd like to welcome our first guest on the show today, Lieutenant Tolley. Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you for having us.
We are at the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office Animal Protection Services, and this is Denny here with us today, and he is up for adoption. So he is a cutie pie and so sweet. So tell us a little bit about APS.
Absolutely. Well, the Sheriff's Office took over control and care of the shelter in July 2012.
Okay.
And since then, we've really focused on making it more of an adoption center versus just animal control and rabies control. Our focus is to find as many animals good homes as we can. And we've done a really good job with that by using the community's volunteer. We have a very large volunteer base, which we couldn't do without.
One of the things, too, about that volunteer base, Lieutenant Tolley, is I've been through the program out here. It's a short orientation program that you come out, I think it's on a Saturday, That's posted on your website. You do about a 2-hour class, is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you just go to brunswicksheriff.com and go to the Animal Protective Services page, and there's a volunteer application, and then our volunteer coordinator will respond back to you and let you know the next upcoming orientation. And the main thing is just to come out and help with the enrichment of the animals. As you see, is like our play yard here. It's just, we want to teach these animals how to be better pets. They're all great animals, but some just have failed at being a good pet. So we really want to work with them and teach them to be a better pet.
And that's not always the animal's fault either.
Not always the animal's fault, not always.
So tell us the process of when a dog or a cat comes into the shelter. Tell us the
Yes,
process
ma'am.
of it.
Well, once an animal comes in, North Carolina law requires we hold every animal for 72 hours. Well, we go 2 days above and beyond that. Every animal's held for at least 5 days. And after 5 days, it becomes the property of Brunswick County. And at that point, we determine which path we want to take with this animal. Is it adoptable? And if it is adoptable, does it come to Adoption Road? Do we reach out to a breed-specific rescue or a local rescue group? Or does it just need more training before it comes up to Adoption Road? Unfortunately, not all the animals make it. We are inundated with stray animals and unhomed animals. We take in approximately 5,500 to 6,000 animals a year. And this year, we're hoping to hit 50% adoption rate, which is well above the average that it has been in the past. So with the county's help and the community's help, we can do that. We can do better than that. You know, we want to get it to 0,
Right.
but we definitely need the help of the community.
About how many adoptions did you do in 2014, Lieutenant?
Yeah, well, in 2014, we did just over 2,900 live releases, and that's a return to owner, adoption, and releasing wildlife back into the wild.
Wow.
So you do deal with wildlife?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. If it's a rabies issue, we do deal with wildlife. If it's just a encounter with wildlife, the North Carolina wildlife officers will handle that.
What else do you have here right now other than cats and dogs? I know we looked at them earlier.
Absolutely. We take in your domestic animals, obviously cats and dogs, ferrets. We get bunnies, we get birds. As you see behind us, the stables, we have a horse over there now.
Okay.
We've had 190 chickens and ducks and quails in there at one time. We get goats. We're prepared every day to whatever shows up. And that's the thing about your county shelter. Whatever comes to the front door, we take. We don't have the option of saying we're full or we can't take it. If it's from Brunswick County, we're here to serve our community and the animals of our community. So we're here for them. So if you feel yourself getting overwhelmed or you see stray animals in your neighborhood, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you.
Let me ask you this now. The animal adoption process, I know you guys use social media a lot, Facebook, and that page is, what is that page called?
Well, one of the biggest things we've done to increase adoption here was Sheriff Ingram's plan when we took over was to get the community more involved. And our Facebook page, which is Brunswick Sheriff's Animal Adoption page, has been one of our biggest assets to increasing adoptions. We have a photographer that shows the animal in a much better light versus behind the fence or in the cage. They show them, you know, almost glamour shots.
Exactly.
And it's giving that animal a better chance of survival, and that's our main goal.
So, Lieutenant Tolley, if these folks see these animals on Facebook page or they get in the notion that they're wanting to adopt an animal, what is the process? They need to come out here to this location and supply and meet with folks to find a dog?
Right. If they see something on Facebook or our website, we just encourage them to come out and spend some time with that animal. Even though you fell in love with that picture, come and see if it is the animal for your family. We have animal care specialists that are here that are glad to help you and answer any questions that you may have about a certain breed or a certain dog. So some people fall in love with these pictures and they want to buy it from the picture, but you want to come meet this animal first and see if it's a good match for your family. This puppy, everybody's not ready for puppy life. Puppy life consists of cleaning a lot of spots off carpet, chewed up shoes. They're looking for the squeaker inside of the high heel shoes. So you got to be ready for that animal. We have from puppy to adult.
Right.
So come and let our specialists help you find what you're looking for.
And I also, you have a adoption outreach trailer also that travels around Brunswick County. Is that right? Tell us a little bit about where they go and where people can go and visit these animals as well.
Absolutely. And again, social media, our Facebook page lists our adoption events completely for the month, every month. And it is an adoption outreach trailer. If some people are not going to come to the shelter.
Right.
So if they're not coming to the shelter, we're taking these animals out to find their owners. So we go from the north end of the county to the south end of the county and everywhere in between. We stop at pet stores, vet offices, all over the county. And we generally take about 4 dogs and 2 cats to each event. And it's the same animals that are on Adoption Row, but it's just giving them a little bit more view in the county and more opportunity.
Okay.
And that's, you said you got cats too, so if somebody wants to adopt a cat, but what about the other animals that you bring in? You were talking about all these odd domestic animals, from horses to chickens to ducks to rabbits. Do you look for places to place them to, or how do you handle those?
Sometimes we have to reach out to rescue for those specific. Generally, some of those animals that we get in here have issues and have problems or need a little bit more care. So we reach out. There's an equine rescue, there's a waterfowl rescue, there's all types of rescues, and we can reach out to them for their expertise. And sometimes we'll send those animals to them and let them find the proper homes for them.
So tell us a little bit about how they can get in touch with you guys. I know there's several different ways that they can get in touch with you guys. We talked about the Facebook page. The location here is, what's the address here?
Sure. Our physical address is 429 Green Swamp Road, which is Highway 211, right across from Lockwood Folly Ballpark. You can't miss us. We're 1 mile from 17. Our phone number is 910-754-8204. And then, of course, our Facebook page, Brunswick Sheriff's Animal Adoption page. And then you can always go to brunswicksheriff.com and get all that information.
Right.
And one last question. Are there fees to adopt these animals?
There are. On the dogs, anything over 6 months is $65. That includes the physical exam, the spay or neuter, the age-appropriate shots, the first month front line, and then you also have an option to get the dog microchipped when you do take it to get it get it fixed. That's an additional fee. And then anything under 6 months is $46, and that just doesn't include the heartworm test. The dogs over 6 months do get a heartworm test as well. Now the cats, they're $15.
Wow.
And that fee was reduced by Sheriff Ingram due to the amount of cats that we were not being able to find homes. The sheriff was very instrumental in helping this adoption rate exceed, and that is our main goal. So that fee has been supplemented through other funds. And that has helped increase the cat adoptions as well. So for $15, you get a cat that is spayed or neutered. You get a cat that is up to date on his vaccines, a physical exam, first month front line as well.
And you can't do that anywhere else.
You can't, yeah.
We were actually in there earlier looking at all the cats. And
Yes.
I found one that I loved. So, so thank you so much for being on our show today. One more time, will you say the website and your phone number?
Absolutely. The website is brunswicksheriff.com, and our phone number is 910-754-8204.
Thank you, Lieutenant Tolley, for being on our show today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And again, we are at the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office Animal Protection Services, and we'll be right back. And Denny says goodbye. We're back with our third guest on the show, Jace Myers with Lolis Olis. Thanks, Jace, for being on our show today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Tell
it.
us a little bit about your company and where it got its name.
Well, Lola is the name of our first daughter. We've also got another one now named Hazel, but Olis is Spanish for waves, so it rhymed and just seemed to work well for us. So while it might be a bit confusing for customers, we specialize in surf, skim, and stand-up paddleboard lessons.
Okay, let's start with the surfing part. Tell us a little bit about that, what goes with the surfing. I know you actually gave me lessons last summer.
Sure.
I got out there and learned how to do it, loved it. Now I've got a board to practice on, a beginner board.
Excellent.
So tell us a little bit about surfing in general.
Sure, a lot of people are drawn to surfing and want to try it, and they vacation in this area, and we love to try to help get them out there on the water and experience the waves and kind of share our passion for surfing.
Right.
That's really how I got into all these water sports. So we take soft top surfboards, which are very safe, with flexible fins, so there's really minimal occurrence of any sort of dangerous situation, and just really get out there and try to build confidence and comfort in the water and help them learn a sport that hopefully, like you, they can be addicted to for life and keep having a good time.
And what are the ages that you do surf lessons for?
We can go as young as 5, and we've had as old as 62, 63. So a wide range, very diverse, and that's a lot of fun as well. Really, all we ask is that people are comfortable in the water and can essentially keep their heads afloat. And most of the time, we're not even in water that's over their head anyway, so it's not a concern. But it's a lot of fun. A big group, big wide age range there.
And you can do private lessons and group lessons? Is that
We
right?
can. We can do one-on-one, much like we did with you last year. We can do groups up to about 6. We get some helpers to come in and kind of manage the situation so we're not, herding cats.
Okay. And the skim park, that is not my favorite thing, as you know.
Right.
I've tried it a few times and I'm still learning. But tell us a little bit about that if our viewers do not know what that is.
Sure. Skimboarding are the little thin, small boards that, through the 70s and 80s were really round discs that you just kind of throw on the edge of the water out the ocean and slide along the sand. Now the boards are a little more technology driven and kind of made for going out into waves and jumping and turning, so kids really enjoy them. And for a kid that may not be ready to get out into the ocean yet and maybe a little apprehensive about the waves, we can keep them in the ankle deep water and just slide around and have a big time.
Okay, and you do camp for the kids with the surfing and the skim, is that correct?
That's correct. We have what we call our Lolis Olis Surf and Skim School.
Okay.
And so through the summers, we have 8 weeks worth of the Lolis Olis Surf and Skim School, and each week is a 3-day session for 2 hours each morning, and we expose them to both surfing and skimming, and we bring out icy pops and bottled water and just have a big time. It's really a fun atmosphere, and that's our thing. We're not trying to create professional surfers or skimboarders. We just want to essentially, it's glorified babysitting, and we have a big time out there and play with the kids.
And when's your first session for that?
It's the first week when school gets out. I believe it's June 8th through 10th, something like that.
Okay.
And then they'll be weekly through the month of July. And then, unfortunately, I go back to my real job at Brunswick Community College as an instructor.
Okay, and let's move on to the paddleboard. This
Okay.
is one of my favorite things. We're actually standing here with 2 paddleboards,
Right.
And that's a big part of your company, of your job. Tell us a little bit about the paddleboards, and then we'll go into detail of how you get on a paddleboard and things like that.
Well, paddleboarding really blew up in the past decade or so. It's really kind of born out of surfing. It's just a bigger version of a surfboard with greater length and more width and thickness. So you get a lot of volume, and it enables you to actually stand on the boards instead of having to lie on them. And so it's a relatively easy sport to learn. Anywhere there's water, you can do it. It makes it a real fast-growing sport across the country right now, not just near oceans, but even inland bodies of water. And so all you need is a board and a paddle and some water, and anybody can step on them and learn. And that's what makes it neat. We get a lot of folks that have seen it, they're very curious about it, and they want to try it, and they find their way to us. And we come right here to this location and take off through the marsh and backwaters and go exploring.
Now, do you have different sizes of the paddleboards? Does it depend on a person's weight or size?
Sure. We do. We have 2 different sizes of paddle boards. This is a Nash Nalu 1010. It's 10 foot 10 inches long, about 33 inches wide, about 5 inches thick. So essentially with paddle boards, we measure them in volume, and this one is about 200 liters of volume. General rules, you could add about 50 to that number, and that's the weight it could carry. So these boards could easily carry someone in the 250-pound range. We have one other board called a Riviera that's a little smaller. So if we have folks like yourself that might be a little lighter, or perhaps kids or young women, we can take them out and get them going and not have such a large board to manage in the water.
And with the paddleboards, you also do private lessons and group. I know I've seen you with group lessons out here before. What's the biggest group lesson, I guess, you've given?
We've given groups up to 7 we can handle, and again, we just try to keep things safe. If we get a little more than that, we can get kind of strung out, and it's hard to keep up with everyone. But we do private flat water lessons like this here, where you don't have the ocean waves to manage as you learn. We also do group flat water lessons and sunset tours. Those are really kind of neat. We leave out about an hour and a half before sunset, and so you get to watch the sun go down while you're out on the water. It's a really neat perspective. And then also for those that really get comfortable and they want to try wave riding with the paddle boards, which is much like surfing. You just have the paddle to get yourself into the wave. We can take you out into the ocean and do that as well. And those are typically one-on-one just from a safety perspective.
Okay. So tell me a little bit. I'm holding the paddle right now. Now, when I'm getting on the board, is that the proper way to hold the paddle?
Okay, we'll
What's the
show
proper
you.
way?
The paddles, as you'll notice, and you can probably see that on camera, they actually have some rake to them or an angle, and so that counterintuitively actually goes away from you. So the stickers are going to be the front, the blank side is the back. That gives you a little more reach when you're reaching out with the paddle.
Okay.
But essentially what you'll be doing is when you're paddling on your left, your right hand is going to be on top.
Okay.
Your left hand is going to be about halfway down. And you're just going to reach out much like you would use a broom in the yard and grab the water and pull back toward your waist.
Okay.
And so that's going to be your paddle stroke. When you switch sides, you're just going to swap hands, put your left hand on top, right hand down on the bottom. Again, you're going to reach out and pull back toward your pocket as if you're reaching for your keys. Okay. And that's going to give you the momentum to move forward.
Now, are these adjustable? Is it the same
They
for
are
every
adjustable.
person?
You can see this little gauge on the back here. You can actually kind of line up with your height. Essentially what you want with a paddleboard paddle is to reach up and have your arm just slightly bent like that. And so you don't want to reach excessively. That makes the paddle a little too long. And also you want it above your head because if it's too short, you can't really reach into the water with it.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I think we're gonna actually get on the board
Sure.
and paddle a little bit. What do I need to do with this?
Okay,
What's
this
the
is a
steps of
leash.
getting on a paddleboard.
Gotcha. I think the key thing really is safety. We want to make sure that first and foremost we're protecting the riders and the participants. So we do have a leash to tether you to the board in the event that you fall. Most people don't, but if you did, that way you don't have to swim after the board. With the wind and the current, they can actually get away from you. And then we also have a personal flotation device which is required by the Coast Guard to take with us. We offer it to folks if they feel more comfortable. They can wear them, but ultimately we typically just strap them on the board. But the first thing is just going to be tethering the leash to your ankle. And so with flat water paddling, it doesn't really matter which ankle. And in surfing, we would put it on our back foot. But out here, since our feet are parallel, it really doesn't matter. So whatever's more comfortable. And you're just simply going to wrap it around your ankle, just right above, and nice and snug, but not overly snug. You don't want to cut off circulation or anything like that.
Okay.
And so now you're tethered to the board. Next thing is grab your paddle, kind of hold it out in your left hand.
Okay.
And we'll just pull these boards back a little bit so we can get them where they'll actually float.
We're gonna try not to fall. Try.
You're fine. So once you're here, you can see the handhold in the middle. That marks your center point on the board and it enables you to kind of line up and know where you're going to be. So basically just ease your way onto the board and straddle that handhold and you know you're right in the middle. So just kind of step up. You can kind of use your paddle to guide you if you'd like.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect. So now just about a shoulder width stance right across that handhold. You're nice and sturdy. You've got your paddle. You're ready to go. It's time to go play and have some fun.
Okay, let's go. Wow, Jace, that was so much fun.
Good times.
For all our viewers that have never done that, you really need to come out and try it. It's a whole lot of fun, a great exercise. You're working your abs, so it's great exercise. So thank you so much for doing this
No
today.
problem.
So much fun. If anyone is interested in the paddleboard, the Surf and Skim School, whether it be kids or adults, what's your contact information? How can they reach you?
The best way is to go to our website, which is lolasnc.com. There you can get all the information you need, pricing, where we go, the scheduling, things like that. You could also call me directly at 910-603-3501.
Okay.
We'd love to talk to you and help out any way we can.
And I think the nice thing about you is, I know your camps are on the beach, but for the lessons, you come to them.
That's
And I
right.
think that's really important, and it makes you unique, and I think it's a lot of fun. So I think we're going to go play a little bit more, but we'll be back. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Please check out the Chamber calendar for all of our events coming up in 2016. Our home show this year will be March 12th at the Shallotte Middle School. We are now taking nominations for our annual Chairman's Awards and many more events to come. I'd like to thank Banana Republic at Tanger Outlets, Highway 17, Myrtle Beach for my wardrobe today, and Dane's Lane Salon Studio at Ocean Isle Beach for my hair and makeup. We'll see you next month.
Megan's Wardrobe, courtesy of Banana Republic at Tanger Outlets in Myrtle Beach, and hair by Dane Delane Salon Studio in Ocean Isle Beach.
Want to live a Tanger-inspired life? Find your style with brands you'll love at exceptional savings. That's Tanger Outlets. Let Tanger style your life for less. Shop inspired. Shop for style. Shop for life at Tanger Outlets.